welcome to the channel for new battle report. This is a new tournament. I didn't do for one time an introduction video because it's a list that I think I already display on the channel in previous games, so I'm just going to use it again, but I don't have much to say. Basically it's a team tournament online organized by the Team England, I guess, some people from Team England, so thanks to them for the organization of that. We have just classic 5 rounds. At the end we see the ranking. We ended up being paired against TRC2, Team France, basically some of Team France players that we know really well, and I was paired myself against Shizuu, good friend who also has a YouTube channel, so was funny to be paired against him, and there is a good player playing Demon Legion. My list for this game, for this tournament, is this one. It's kind of a mixed approach that I already showed before on Battle Report. So basically we have Shooty Merc-Vets crossbow, we have Combat Merc-Vets, 2 big blocking core, Fighty Can, BSB, Mimic Cloak, God Speaker, Mage, level 4 Pyro. Then we have Thunder Cannon, Yeti Skin Eater's Chaff, Frost Mammoth and Merc Giant as monsters to help me on the flanks. Shizuu was playing the following, has a big Scourge, fighty one, not that expensive, and basically you see the specialty of his list. He has a lot of Incendiary Ichor on his list, so basically on his unit. So basically the idea is that he's quite immune, or as immune as he can be to Pyromancy, which is interesting, and also to Flaming Attack, and at the same time he could potentially take advantage from field on the maps. I noticed that there are more train on battlefield on version 3.0, and that he might take advantage from field to get some free reroll to wound. So that's basically his concept here. We have a BSB Harbinger with Guiding Incendiary Ichor on Sukubai, 2 times Imps that are also well protected against Pyro with the 3 up against range. We have Unit of Order, 5 of them. Blazing Glory with Fly, 3 Brazen Beast with also Incendiary Ichor, Standard Bearer, Titan Slayer with Standard Bearer to help him on Capture the Flag, and that's the secondary that he will get this game, and 2 units of Hellhound also with Flaming Attack. We are playing all the center and Spearhead, so Spearhead is the third where you can choose to Vanguard basically. I got Slay the Beast, need to kill the Scourge or the Blazing Glory, and he had Capture the Flag. He starts with 7 to my 4, I guess, 4 or 5. So he has like, yeah, I think 4, and he had like 6, 7. So he had like a good advantage against me. He had 5 total with my BSB, and him 7 total with his BSB. That's why I'm counting that way. And yeah, below you see the spell selection, who has minimal magical setup, but still some things, also enough to do, I would say. Some combat buff, some damage, so 2 times Smite and Fate from distance, and then close combat, 4 side roll to hit Whispers. So I think the setup is quite good for the price you pay. Matchup analysis, yeah, like MMU, MSU style Demon Legion, no big unit. He has a Dangerous Scourge and then play on the fire, anti-fire combo. Primary, I guess, should be to my advantage. I have better, bigger scoring unit. I think here is the keyword. While I get some tools against the Scourge. Not an easy piece to deal with, but I mean I have 9 strength 6 shot plus a cannon shot. That might do some damage if he stays too much in the open. Ogre can secondary, Slay the Beast should be easy. I think those 2 models will be active. If he's not, then I'm going to win a primary. Demon Legion, yeah, starts with an edge on the secondary because he has a lot of flags. But that could be potentially challenge depending on what happened during the game. Pass to victory for Ogre can, get solid position on the center, get counter, and then use my range damage. Give me time to use range damage to create some advantage. And see how I can play with my scoring unit that are bigger than his scoring unit. So 1 versus 1 battle should be in my advantage in most of the case. Demon Legion find a way to attack, and while attacking, that could be a way to secure the center on the way. Here I think starting is key. Definitely both players wants to start, and I felt the estimation was slightly positive for me because I have tools for the Scourge and bigger scoring unit. Let's move on to the deployment. I had the happiness to win the role, and I obviously chose to be the attacker. He took top half to get the heal to hide his Scourge basically, and then I dropped everything for first turn. So I put all my 4 scoring units in the center. That's something I strongly recommend when you play all the ground, is to put your scoring in the middle. That might be obvious, but I see too many players that are like dropping scoring on the side. I think it's quite important to get as many as you can in the middle in most cases. So I put center tribesmen with the BSB inside, fighting merc vets, gunners, and then bruiser here on the left flank. Far left, it's my zone to vanguard with the giant. He had obviously vanguard in the center, and then I put cannon Frosty near the impassable, and the Yetis on the far right. His counter deployment, he put Scourge, Blazing Glory behind the hill, which was expected. Then we have Hellhound on both sides. So here I measured with my cannon that if I move 4, I was really able to deny him spot here and also here. So he needed to go really far left or behind the hill. So I was happy with that, basically. Titan Slayer Chariot will try to target the Frost Mammoth, obviously. And then you see the middle Sukubai with BSB, Order blazing a bit on the left, and 2 imps on the hill, going to try to target my cannon. Let's move on to my turn 1. So I moved the cannon inside the forest because I know that they're going to try to target the cannon, and in an ideal world, he would like to kill my cannon with range damage and then be able to move the Scourge out, which I'm not going to allow him. So I measured, obviously at the deployment, that I could move within the forest in case he would do something like that. So quite fine with that. Should be hard for him to get me, and then I can move back easily with the cannon as well. So that shouldn't be an issue. The rest moves toward the center. As you can see, the giant covering both sides of Impassable, and the Keen Eater is in ambush, obviously. Magic Phase, I get Cage of Embers on the Hoarder, do 1 wound, Fireball, do nothing on them, and Crossbow, I start to do some work on Sukubai and kill 3 of them. His turn 1, he pushed towards me, still leaves the Scourge behind Impassable, and he moves the Blazing Glory here all the way in the back, which is kind of hard for me to target with my magic. Good move. And nothing else. Magic Phase, you get Fate Judgment on the cannon, wounds on 6 up, do nothing. But I see here the potential of his magic. Getting Smite and Fate in range is dangerous for me, so I need to be able to push those units back, and you will see what I will come up with. Smite the Unbeliever against the Merc Vets, do 1 wound, and shooting he does 2 wounds to my tribesman in the middle. No, he kills a wall Merc with a Smite here, that's not bad. My turn 2, yeah, I push within the ruin to basically tell his Sukubai, if you don't move, I'm going to charge you, and if not, you need to move back. You can move back 2.5. I'm still going to get a charge, so you need to be ready for that. So I want to push his BSB model back, basically. I put plenty of counter charge around. My Keen Eater, you see, is here hidden behind. So basically, I'm in a situation where I cover the angle. There is no way he can escape my line of sight with the dogs. The giant is forward, he has no charge. So either he moves forward, I charge with the giant. Either he moves sideways, I charge with the Keen Eater. But there is no way he's going to escape. My Yetis are hidden from any of his range damage, shooting or magic, and still covering the flank, which is enough for the moment. And the rest here is in position. I move the cannon slightly back. I don't have any key cannon shot at the moment. Obviously the -1 from the movement is not nice, but making the cannon survive until the Scourge come out is key. So here I move slightly back to get out of range of his shooting. Magic Phase. Cage of Ember, the Blazing Glory, I think, got Dispel, and then I got Fireball, Pyro Flow on orders, and I managed to do 3 wounds, so at least that 1 order less to manage in close combat. Crossbow, I didn't move, so I'm able to get a lot of good crossbow on his Sukubai unit, and I kill 6 of them. I have BSB short range, 6 crossbow that didn't move on 4+, and 2 crossbow from the Frosty that didn't move as well on 4+. So, I mean, that's a lot of damage potentially. And I kill 6 Sukubai, so that's really good. His turn 2 moves back with the Sukubai, jump with the BSB here, and he decides to come out with the Scourge. We'll see how that goes. Pushes with Blazing Glory, Titan Slayer, and Chaff, Merc Vets, and the Frosty. So he gets into a nice pressure situation with the 3 single model. Really nice from him. Left flank, he elects to tempt my giant of a charge. I'm going to be in the water, so I don't get impacted, which reduce a bit my output. But interesting situation here. We will see what kind of solution I can find out. Magic Phase. You get +2 weapon skill on the Scourge. In case I would attempt a charge with the Tribesman boss, yeah, I can get what? Charge, 4 rank, banner, standard bearer. So I get a good amount of static, obviously, like 4, 5, 6, 7. And then it's up to what I do with a strength 6 BSB, strength 4 attack. If I get through, overrun into the imps, that's more or less game over. And if I get stuck, he countercharge me with everything, I lose the unit, and that's game over on the other hand. So do I want to flip a coin in the air and see what happened. Not really. So I let this buff go. Fate Judgment on the Frosty, Dispel, Smite, Dispel, second Smite in the Mergvet. He managed to do 2 wounds. And Imps managed to do 3 wounds to the Frost Mammoth. Amazing. Imps, AP 0, still strength 5. That's really, really strong. Really love the Imps. I think they have great magic, great shooting. That's amazing. Protected against range damage. So really good here for him. Let's continue. My turn 3. So I don't elect any charge except the Giant here that's going to fight against the dogs. I move the Keen Eater to try to basically attack the flank of those Brazen Beasts, potentially serving as chaff as well. I move back with most of my unit, getting in range to shoot at the Scourge. I have a lot of shooting on him. I have 9 strength 6 shot from crossbow. I have the cannon that won't move. It's going to hit on 4+. Important shot here. And I move the Frosty back, but I cannot be out of 6 charge from this guy here. To be honest, I think I should have been able to move slightly here. I'm out of range of line of sight here. I think I could have been maybe bit in the flank or something like that to be completely out of the charge. I think that would have been a better decision here against his chariot, because if he makes that charge, that's a dead frost, and I think that could have been potentially avoided here. Magic Phase, get Cage of Amber on the Blazing Glory, so by doing this maneuver I'm able to get a line of sight with my mage on his Blazing Glory, which was very important. So I get the cage here, I do 1 wound. Then I try to get on the Mergvets, Hereditary to protect them, but I miscast and dispel it, and then I lost some dice in the process, I think, and Pyroflow fails, and that was about it. So not that great Magic Phase. I don't get any buffs on. Crossbow, he managed to do a total of 2 or 3 ward save on the Scourge, but then the cannon managed to do 3 wounds on the Scourge. So that's what I expected from shooting. I'm really happy about that output, because now he has no choice. I mean, the Scourge has only 4 wounds left. He has to charge. If he doesn't, then next turn he could be dead from shooting without doing anything from combat, and he would probably lose the scenario and stuff. So I'm in place, so he's kind of forced to charge at the moment, and he has not so many. He has a charge option into my Tribes Hand, and I have plenty of counter charge. Close combat on the left. I roll 2 wounds, which is kind of expected. He rolled a bit higher, which makes it a tie. Expected to win here, but as you can see, on average he does like between 1 and 2 wounds. He managed to do 3, and for me 2 is kind of average, so it's average actually. So basically, yeah, nothing crazy here. We tie, and next round should be better for me, because now I have 3 attack more. His turn 3, a lot of charges. We have the Scourge that went in. He failed the chariot, luckily for me, on 6. Double maximize, so it's like 50% chance. So here, should have avoided that situation. Not too happy about my placement here. I wanted to have charge in the middle, but I think here it's way too dangerous. He sent the dogs and the blazing against my Mergvets. The Cage of Amber only do 1 wound, reroll 2 wound, only do 1 wound to his Blazing Glory. Wanted just 1 more, would have been better for me. The Scourge doesn't suffer any wounds from the DT, and unfortunately for me, and the rest pushes forward. So we will see what happened here. He's able to get 3 scoring units within the center, so he's going to be able to get 1 point. I only got 2. Yeah, 2 only for me. I got Gunners, Mercs, and the Tribesman, that not more than that. So basically he's going to get here an advantage on the center. In the Magic Phase, what happens? He failed the Whispers. He got +2 weapon skill on the dogs. Shooting managed to do 2 wounds on the Yetis, and close combat he gets. So I strike before. I think he made which one first? I think he made the big one first. I don't recall, but I strike before him. So I have a BSB, 5 attack, strike 6, 3+, 4+. He has a 4 quad save, so that could do something. And then I have 8 + 9, 17 Tribesman attack on 4+, 6+. And with all of that, I managed to do 1 wound. In exchange, he strike against my BSB, who has regen, so he kills my BSB. Not a smart move here to keep the BSB within the unit. I should have moved within the Mergvets unit. I think that would have been the wise choice here for me. He loses by 1, but stick, so he still has 3 wounds left. And Mergvets combat, I managed to do really well, and he managed to fluff this time. The dogs do 0 wounds, which is not expected. Blazing do 2 wounds, I do 6 wounds, lot of battle focus, and actually instead of losing slightly, like I guess should be losing like by 1 or 2, something like that, I won by 2. He failed on both, loses 2 wounds on the blazing, 2 wounds on the dogs pop. So I have a blazing alive against 4 merc vets, didn't expect that at all. He had no juicy overrun with the blazing, but still winning that combat is a huge help. On the left side, I get rid of the dogs with my 9 attacks. So that's a good news as well. So feeling quite good at this moment because no dogs anymore on both sides. The blazing is on 1 wound, going to die next turn. And the Scourge is stuck, and now it's just up to me to get the right decision of the charges. So let's move back to that and think about the situation. I have an automatic charge from the Frosty against the Scourge. Could also go that way against the Chariot, get an overrun into them. But then he has a counter charge here. There is still a strength 5 BSB, lot of attack from Sukubai. And I have only 4 wounds left. So that's kind of risky. Yet he's going to go here no matter what because it's automatic, flank, charge, 8 attack, strength 5. Could be enough to get rid of the Chariot. Should be enough in most cases. So here, decision for me, go against the Scourge, try to get him. It's the general, it's the secondary, it's holding me in the center. So that's huge. If I get rid of him, I'm thinking I have, at the moment, I need to look at the bright picture. See the resources on the table. I mean, if I get rid of the Scourge and the blazing this turn, what has he left? 3 small infantry, the Chariot will most likely be dead, and then it's just 3 Brazen and Hoarders. So if I get rid of the middle, no matter if it costs me a Frost and another unit, I will have more resources than him, and that should win me the game here. So that's the thought process. And here left counter charge, because I want to make sure I get rid of the Scourge as soon as possible. I have the Bruisers on 2 up, and I have automatic Mercu Gunners, which are only strength 5. My thought process here. Bruisers have a Stalker standard, they have strength 6 attack, instead of the Gunners who don't have a Stalker going to suffer from DT and have only strength 5. And I don't want to get stuck here because remember, if I charge here and I get stuck, then he sends me everything and I'm going most likely to, everything in the middle is going to explode. So I need to make sure I get rid of the Scourge with the charge on the left flank. So I elected to send in the Bruiser, thinking after that he can send me Orders plus the Brazen Beast. Nobody has a rank, I am resolute. I could have a check that's totally doable and then counter charge setup. So let's send in the Bruiser and then I will see if I want to flee or not. I can decide depending on what happens, but I should be fine. So I send in the Bruiser thinking first priority is get rid of the Scourge. Small issue here. That's, the Tribesman against the Scourge, so he could have died as you can see. But that's between the DTs and so on, so it's like 15% chance of dying, so that was still fine for him. I failed the charge from the Bruisers, so that's a huge issue, because now I'm thinking, oh shit, that's a huge issue. And something that felt out of the picture for me, where I lost the focus, I was too focused on the Scourge, thinking if he gets a lot of wolf save, if I get stuck, what do I do, stuff like that. The big issue that I have here, and I see that the dogs actually, 2 wounds. I think the dogs did indeed 0 wounds on my Mergvets. So the big issue that I have is I'm not sure anymore to get rid of the Scourge, first of all. I have huge static, but if I would have sent in the Mergvets Gunners, that's another flank, another standard, so that's +3 static. And then good amount of strength 5 attacks, so that could have been and should have been enough. And now my Bruiser are too far from the center, Gunners too far from the center, so we will get 2-0 on the center, and that's a huge issue. If I would have charged with the Gunners, they are in the center, and then I could have placed the Bruisers somewhere in between at 9 inch, obviously at risk from a charge, but not from both most likely. And if he gets one of them, I think I can easily hold. And now I get 3 scoring. So he can get 3 as well, we can tie, but it opens for me the win on the primary. So here I lost a bit, how should I say? My mind was not really clear at this point of time. I was a bit in a tunnel vision and I lost a sight of the primary. I think that's the key here. I had a chance to help me against this failed charge. Was a charge on a 5 from the Keen Eater in the flank here, but I failed that. Would have been nice, would have been a good way to stick those Brazen Beasts, and then I could hold the Order in the face but here basically the Brazen are in the flank of the Bruisers. So that's the worst case scenario. Yeti is obviously automatically in, and I place the Giant to be able to join the party in the middle. So yeah, the game is far from over here. I expect it to be more in charge, but here the failed charge and the wrong decision. I think the failed charge is just a penalty for making the wrong decision. That's the way I see it. Anyway, let's move on to the magic phase. A Rod of Battle on the Frost Mammoth, 3 dice, Dispel with 3 dice. Hereditary on the big unit got cast, so at least that's something. And then I 5 dice, Clouded Sight on the Brazen Beast. He has 4 dice left, thinking if I get that, no charge for the Brazen Beast. So that's a key spell, but it's a bounce spell. I don't roll crazy high and is able to dispel it. So, come on. Would have been nice, but he didn't fall for the trick. Shooting, I managed to do nothing with all the crossbow and the cannon and stuff. Yetis, I do some wounds, like 3 wounds. He doesn't do much. He loses by 5, but gets the check on 4 rerollable. He passes it, so that's too bad. Close combat, I kill Blazing Glory. The Scourge managed to do 3 ward save, so nothing. I got like 8 static. He managed to do 6 wounds due to Hereditary. And loses another 2 wounds from the combat resolution only. But he's still here. And that's a huge issue, because now he can counter-charge again. So, yeah, here the gunners would have been enough. Without doing a wound, just adding another flank and another standard. That's a +3, so 11, that's a check on -5. So even without that, and if just they do a wound or 2, yeah. I was too afraid that he would stick, which he did here. And now he has some counter charge. Not the worst case scenario, because he can not send that good counter charge. So that's the Scourge and my guys that should have been able to do more. That's all the Frosty and the Tribesmen. And if you add to that 18 Strength 5 attack and 3 Impact Strength 5 attack, I mean the Scourge should be dead before he strikes. So here, wrong decision to send the Bruiser in. His turn, counter luck, he fails the Brazen. So he charged against my Bruiser, redirect check on the 9, no reroll. He makes it, I think 9 or maybe Leadership 8, those guys. And then he fails the 3-up Swift. Woof! At least that's that. So we have some roller coaster of emotion here. He gets the Succubi in the flank of my Frosty. He gets the Hoarder in the corner. But remember, those guys, strength 4, wounding on 6. I can storm the Succubi, so I'm thinking that's far from over, guy. My Chariot looking at you. I still have a lot of resources, going to eat the Brazen with the Giant. If my Bruiser are polite enough to at least rally, because they fled 10, so that wasn't big help here. And since he was able to stick and reform, he countercharged with the BSB unit in the flank of the Yetis. I'm just hoping to kill the Chariot. 2 wounds left. I strike before, so maybe I can just kill the Chariot, and that would be great. Let's move on to the magic phase. He gets what? Yeah, the order are the 4 Swift to get into the Frosty, which was quite important. And I don't recall about the Succubi. Seems like a 3 or something, not too hard. He get +2 weapon skill on the Chariot, try to save him. He gets reroll to hit on the Succubi. And he gets also -1 resilience on the Frost Mammoth. So 3 spell in. That's crazy good for him. So I just fluff all my dispelling attempt, which is not a big help, because now he can wound a bit better with order against my Frosty. Static, I'm losing by 2 in the big fight. I strike what I can against Succubi. I kill some, but not that much. He do, I think, like a wound to my Frosty, but not that much as well. So that's fine. And I kill the Chariot before he does like 2 wounds to my Yetis. I fled over the DT, over the Impassable, which causes 2 DT. I roll like 4 and 6 and I die. So no more Yetis. The combat in the middle, we still stuck. I kill the Scourge, obviously, he had like 1 wound left. Strike at him, I kill the Scourge. So finally, I get the Scourge. And he's able to reform with orders to make the charge impossible. I have only 1 charge available. I don't know if you see it, is the cannon that can charge. And then I can obviously double charge his Brazen Beast. My turn 5. I already have some stat, but with no outcome for you. So I charge Giant in the flank, Kinita in the back. That should be dead. Brazen Beast here, so that would be a big help for me in the center. I push here the Merc Vets. getting ready, pushing here the block. So I put a lot of scoring unit within 9 here, 1, 2, 3. I want to score it. I lost 2-0 on the center, so now is the time for me to win it 2 times and try to draw. And basically I send the chariot in thinking, okay, I mean I can get hereditary, I can get dragon roar, I can get +1 to it. I'll have a lot of buffs. So even if he kills my Frosty, I mean the cannon will do a lot on his Sukubai, and should be able to get my cannon. Will be alive, will be here most likely, and then next turn I can probably eat those orders without any issue. So I'm thinking, fine. I mean, still should be a big win for me. I mean, we're going to draw on primary, secondary. He can still not make his. I made mine. And then if I can eat the order next turn, then there are only a couple of imps on the table, so that should be fine actually. Thinking here, I get that. Magic phase. Hereditary on the Frost Mammoth in, so that's perfect. He wounds me on 6 up again, perfect. +1 to hit on, I think the chariot was out, I guess so. And I got Dragon Roar on my chariot. I think, yeah, +1 to hit, Rod of Battle on the giant. So after his last magic phase was crazy good with 3 spell, it's my time to get a crazy good magic phase with 3 spell in. So that's lucky for me this time, and that's a good news. I rally the bruises. Whew, that's it, guys. Come on, let's save that point. I kill obviously the Brazen Beast, no issue here. And against those Sukubai, let's see. The chart that you see on the bottom right is the chart of the chariot, impact, dragon roar, 7 attack. So as you can see, on average I kill them. It's like total average. I can do a bit less, I can do a bit more. I managed here to do 6 wounds, so there is 1 Sukubai alive. Then he strikes with, how many? He has like 3 times 3, I think 9 attack from Ogre, I would say. They have 3 attack each. 4 plus, 6 plus. And he has 6 grind. I think he has 6 grind. It's the second round of combat. So 6 grind on 6 plus. And he has 1 Sukubai to strike. And only with that, he kills the Frost. Shit. As you see, it's not that unlikely. It's like a 35% chance. So can happen. But obviously it's huge. Because not only my Frost Mammoth cannot attack and kill the Sukubai with the Stomp and win combat and make him lose some wounds on the resolution, but I lose combat, lose by 1, and I fail on 7 no reroll, and he runs me down, and then he's free to charge, and he charged with Sukubai my cannon, I'm destroyed. He charged with Order against the Mergvets. I flee because the overrun would have been in the flank of my big block. Lose more 1,100 points on that sequence here. So that's cruel. That's cruel. Can happen. Should have planned better for that. I could have had maybe Mergvets a bit more out of angle of the order. I could have done things probably better. So while 1 turn before I was sure, okay, now I'm going to eat the order. I remember some of my teammates writing in our chat like, okay, Matt's going to clean this table, it looks good, and now we have like downside, he gets like 1,000 points, and I'm not going to get order or any more points most likely, so not great. His magic phase, he gets like a smite on the giant, 1 wound, the other smite I dispel on the giant, he gets fate on the giant, 2 wounds, shooting he killed the giant, that was supposed to happen. Close combat, he killed 2 units, overrun, boom, boom, reform, yeah. My turn 6. So let's find a solution to score the primary this turn and make sure that he doesn't. So I place my big block of Godspeaker units as chaff for the order. They cannot move around. There is no way they can reach 9 inch from the center other than charging my guys, killing them and overrunning. I place exactly that this corner here is within 9. So even if he comes at me, do some wounds, pop me a little bit, that shouldn't be enough. So thinking here, okay, that should be fine. I march the bruiser, put the gunner, so I have 1, 2, 3 scoring. He can easily get 1, 2, but not more than 2 if my mage killed the last Sukubai. Remember, he's still alive. So I just need to kill that, move away with the King Eater magic phase. get Fireball, kill the Sukubai, that's it. So thinking here, okay, should be fine. And I just put a Dragon Row on my big block, he Dispel Hereditary, that's it, he's 6. Nothing crazy, he's just going to try, he march those guys and not these guys. I have a cover, he's just going to try to panic those guys that are on 8, no reroll. I don't have a BSB anymore since turn 3. Gets a Fate on them, 4 wounds. And then a Smite, and like he did in all game long, rolling 1 dice on Thaumaturgy, thinking I'm going to greed a little bit. And he greed, and this time rolls a 1. And doesn't wound me with the single touch. And basically, there is no panic check here, so I'm still fine. I win I tie on the primary because I win 5 and 6. He won 3 and 4, so that's a tie on the primary, and I win a bit on points, and that's at the end a 13-7. So wow, what a lot of action here. I hope you enjoyed the game. I enjoyed it a lot and was really interesting to analyze. Let's come quickly back to what happened here. Very happy to start. I think that's the most important role of all game. Really happy here to start. Activation mid-game from Demon Legion. Was able to score some precious center point. But I think here, let's not forget that if I didn't win the primary or didn't have the chance to win it, was mainly due to my wrong decision on turn 4 by the counter charge. If by the counter charge I do what I told you, which is gunners in the flank, push the bruiser in the center, and normally that's a tie on turn 4, win 5-6, and I can win primary. So here I think I lost a bit sight of the primary perspective of this whole situation. A lot of dicey combat, but like I told you also, I saw that possibility, but I was just too afraid he would do a lot of 4+ ward save, just do a lot of wounds in the combat, I get stuck, and he just cleans everything and run me down. So I was a bit afraid for that, and that was the key driver of my, for me, safe decision to send the bruiser in, was I'm going to kill the Scourge, push the gunners in the deployment in the center, and I still have 3 scoring, and even, I mean, it's less risky than I thought, because I have much more attack, and I bring strike 6 attack, so that's better for me. So yeah, that was my idea, but didn't work out. Turn 3, Ogre can. I think here the right decision should have been to jump the BSB inside the Merc Vets unit that was charged by the dogs and the Blazing Glory. Should have helped me to get rid of the Blazing and to protect my unit. So I think here that just have been the little damage output and wounds that I missed on this unit. I was here lucky to be alive and to win it. Should have lost by a little bit. But if I have the BSB within the unit, I think that's the key solution here. Turn 3, Demon. Yeah, I talked about that combat. Turn 4, like I said, also talked about that. And turn 5, yeah, that was the key combat for him to avoid the big loss. He managed to turn around the position that was a bit desperate, so congrats to him, to basically save himself from a bigger loss. Could have been like 15-16 easily, and he ended up, because instead of me taking orders more and him, he took like 1,000 something, that's like 1,500 points delta here. That's huge. And endgame was me just securing the draw on primary, which was quite important to not make it a draw on the game, which would have been very frustrating for me, because I had overall a good control all game long. I felt I was quite in control of the game, but then I just didn't make the perfect decision at the key moment, and was a bit unlucky to fail the 2-up charge. He was also unlucky at some point, so it was like always when you have a lot of combats that could go up and down, and we had some lucky moments, some unlucky moments, and that's how it went. But at the end I felt I had a solid game plan, and it worked out quite well despite those unpredictable moments, which makes at least the battle report and the game quite funny to follow. Guys, thanks a lot for watching the battle report. Unfortunately, we lost the first round to TRC. They won it overall, so congrats to them, which placed us like second half of the table. So we need to make better on round 2 to try to climb back a little bit the table, but we'll see what happens. Talk to you soon on the channel. Goodbye.